All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I'm going to talk about Marathon Digital Holdings, stock ticker MARA. They are a Bitcoin mining company. They entered a deal on Friday, and I want to go through the details. I've been getting a lot of questions on this, so I want to go through their SEC filing, and I want to tell you what my thoughts are on the deal that they've made here. So if you're new to the channel, we talk about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners all the time on this channel, so please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could please smash the like button. Lastly, you can become a member of the channel by hitting the join button on the YouTube page. So that's right next to the subscribe button. If you don't see the join button, then there is a link below in the description. Members get a bunch of members only content. We've been doing this for several months now, so we've got a bunch of content built up in there. In addition to that, every week on Tuesday after the market closes, we do a members only live stream. So on that live stream, members get to pick a company for me to do a deep dive video on. So we'd love to have you join us. It's a lot of fun and it supports the channel. So, all right, let's talk about Marathon. Okay, first I'm just going to take an overview look at Marathon here. They're trading just under $8 today, so no unusual trading for them. They did enter an SEC filing on Friday, and they did have a down day on Friday. They were down on what was mostly a green day. Now, I don't really think the two things are related. Marathon has been running up quite a bit. It's been a little bit ahead of its peers. I think it's too soon to jump to conclusions that the price action on Friday had anything to do with this deal. And today, they're basically sideways at the moment, as is Bitcoin and as are most of the Bitcoin miners. We will also look at their chart later, but right now, I want to get to the SEC filing. I will note that Marathon did not put out a press release regarding this, so that is conspicuously absent. I waited on this one until Monday, thinking they would have the weekend and they would probably put something out Monday morning, because I will tell you, I've been inundated with questions about this, so if I've been inundated with questions, I know they've gotten 100 times or 1,000 times as many. So I really did expect to see a press release, and maybe that is forthcoming. I do think that they should do that. I really do think they need to put out a press release that clarifies what's going on here, because to me, this left me with an awful lot of questions, and it seems to be a very confusing move. So let me tell you what they did, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so here's the deal. On January 27, 2023, Marathon Digital Holding and FS Innovation LLC entered into a shareholder agreement regarding the formation of an Abu Dhabi global markets company. Okay, so without reading every single detail of this, essentially, they formed a limited liability company that they are going to be a minority interest holder in. So the initial project by the ADGM entity, that's the new entity that's formed, shall consist of 2 digital asset mining sites comprised of 250 megawatts in Abu Dhabi, and the initial equity owner in the ADGM entity shall be 80% FSI and 20% the company being Marathon. Marathon is going to be a minority interest holder in this, so I will tell you right now, I don't like that. Those things oftentimes do not end well, so I'll talk more about that later. They've got a budget for this. It looks like the 250 megawatts, to get it up and running, it's going to take about $400 million. At 20%, their share of that would be $80 million, and it looks like they're looking to do this in 2023, so that's $80 million in 2023. Now, it doesn't have to be in dollars, because they did say both in cash and in kind. So I don't know. There's a few things that worry me here. Number one, is the in kind going to be stock dilution for Marathon? Are they going to pay for some of this in stock? I don't think so. You know, this company needs the cash. If there's actually $400 million to be spent, then I would think this partnership needs that cash. But the other thing that they have in kind that they could provide instead of cash would be some of their machines, right? Remember, they have a massive quantity of machines that they own that are not plugged in yet. So I definitely want to hear from the company. I would like to be reassured that they are not going to be giving their machines, because right now they're set up to get to 23.3 exahash. They have been adamant about that. They've reiterated that in at least 10, if not 12 consecutive monthly operational reports. So if this is a change of plans and those machines are going elsewhere, I think that is very, very important to understand. So I have no reason to believe that, other than the fact that they did put in kind in this agreement, and the one in-kind thing that they could have would be the machines that they already own. To me, that would be a very bad maneuver for Marathon. I don't think, like I said, I have no reason to believe that they're going to do that by not putting out a press release and by not talking about their intentions. That's one of my big questions that jumps out right away, because they could give half their machines to this company in like kind. Okay, unless otherwise not permitted by applicable law, the digital assets mined by ADGM entity will be distributed to the company and FSI twice a month in proportion to their respective equity interests. Okay, so also that doesn't make sense. And without getting into the minutia of things, right, these companies have to pay for their operations. So where does that cash come from? So every month, a lot of these companies don't even hardly break even, at Bitcoin 16 or 18,000. So it depends on the price of Bitcoin. It depends on the price they're paying for energy. But obviously, there's direct costs involved in mining these coins. So you just can't divvy them up twice a month. Some of them need to be sold and pay for operations. Or each entity is going to have to kick in cash twice a month to pay for operations and in exchange get their pro rata share of the Bitcoin that's mined. So essentially what you have here, the takeaway is there's two big things. Number one, they're going to be a 20% minority interest holder in a new company that's looking to build infrastructure and mine Bitcoin in Abu Dhabi. So I do know there's a lot of exciting technology coming, and there's some ways that they're hoping to do that in a cost-effective way. So that's great, but my concern is this 20% minority interest, number one. I don't like, Marathon already without this project, if they stuck to their plan, they would be the largest Bitcoin mining company in North America, which would make them one of the largest Bitcoin mining companies in the world. So I don't know why they need to allocate $80 million to another project that has nothing to do with business as usual. As you guys know, they have struggled. They're nowhere near keeping up with their business as usual plan. So I do think they have a strong opportunity in 2023 to get their exahash online. If they can get themselves in the United States up to 23.3 exahash or as close as possible, then they will be providing massive, massive value to their shareholders. And this is what they have been promising that they would do month after month after month. So to hear them allocate $80 million, which may not seem like a lot of money, the infrastructure for this is going to come in the year 2023. So that's $80 million in the year 2023. The Bitcoin mining is a very cash-intensive business. It does look like they've started to sell some of their Bitcoin. So that's another maybe fundamental change they had to make in order to make this agreement. I'm not sure. I don't want to speculate because they haven't talked about that either. I'm hoping at least in their monthly operational update, they will address the fact that they now have sold some Bitcoin. What is their policy on that going forward? Was that a one-off event? Does that have anything to do with this? And then some further detailed explanation on how they intend to pay for this. And definitely, absolutely, I would like to hear that this has nothing to do with them giving any of their machines over to this new entity. That would take from what they already have, and it would take from what the shareholders are expecting in their U.S. operations. The other thing about this deal is Marathon prides themselves on being asset light. That's essentially their tagline. They don't build out these infrastructures from start to finish, and they don't conduct business this way. So this entity will be doing the exact opposite of what the rest of their company is doing. Maybe they feel they're diversifying in doing so. But for me, again, my big concern is to be a minority shareholder. The other shareholder, FS Innovation, is going to have 4 seats on the board. Marathon is going to have 1 seat on the board of directors. They do not have voting control over this. They're outnumbered 4-1 on the board. They're a minority shareholder interest. And to me, they have their hands full doing what they're doing. So what I will say is before I make a final judgment on this, and I think before any shareholders really truly understand what's going on, I think we need more details about this. So I'm hopeful that Marathon will come out and share more details as to what their line of reasoning is with this and what, the particulars of this. And also, this is in the early stages, so we can't be sure that this is really even going to happen. That's the other possibility, is that they've gotten to a certain point and ultimately this doesn't come together and it doesn't come to fruition. So we'll see. My key concerns on this are it distracts from their business as usual, which they still have the vast majority of their exahash to get up and running. The last report that they put out, they had 7 exahash running. It looked like maybe they were going to get to 9.7, but we'll wait until the January operational update to confirm and see if they did that. But they're looking to get to 23.3. So they have an awful lot of work left ahead of them to get to where they're going here. Even if this thing did all the things that it said it was going to do, the 20% interest in a 250 megawatt facility that's totally done and up and running probably is going to produce very little for them in 2023, but even in full-blown operations in 2024, this might add the equivalent of 2 or 3 exahash. So it's not really a material part of their business, and I'm just not sure why they would allocate the $80 million for it. So if this Bitcoin and crypto winter continues, they're going to want to have that cash. This is what they filed. This is what they're saying their intention is. But again, we haven't really heard directly from them, either through a press release or a press conference, the explanation of what their intentions are on this matter. So I'm going to wait. Obviously, you guys can see my initial knee-jerk reaction to this is concern. but I will wait. I don't think this is going to make or break the company either way. It is a little bit confusing to me that they would enter this relationship. As a potential shareholder, I would much more be interested in seeing them focus on reaching their goals that they've been talking about and gearing up and getting 23.3 exahash of operations running in the US. So past that, everything is speculation. Until we hear from the company, we really don't know exactly what's going on. So I think, we may have to wait till their January operational report, but I will be having an extra eye out for their January operational update because of the fact that, number one, hopefully they'll give us an update on how many Bitcoin they sold and what's their new policy on selling Bitcoin, because for 2 years they did not sell any Bitcoin. They were strictly hodling. So are these two transactions related? Have they shifted their policy on that? And then secondly, obviously, more details about this agreement and how it fits into their big picture and why does this make sense for them. So hopefully they'll address some of those issues in the operational update. That's really the outline of what this SEC filing is talking about. So that's what Marathon is doing. So if I take a look at their stock, I just want to show, I do think there's an awful lot of upside potential to this stock. And that's the reason that I'm hoping they'll just focus on getting their business going, because you'll see, even as recently as October 26th, this stock was trading for almost $16. Bitcoin is now above where it was on that day. So, Marathon and most of the Bitcoin mining companies have lagged behind. So the Bitcoin mining stocks are due for a run-up if Bitcoin can hold its current price. From where Marathon is right now at this moment, back to just if it could get back to where it was on October 26th. Again, Bitcoin was trading at around 22,400 at that time. So we are actually above that right now. So there's still almost 100% upside. There's almost a double left just to get back to that point. So I think that's a very realistic price target if Marathon has a good operational update and they can fill in some of the gaps on what's going on with this new situation. So those are my thoughts on Marathon. Obviously, more to follow when the details come. So thanks so much for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And also, if everybody could please smash the like button, I would appreciate it. And you're welcome to become a member. There's a lot of content ready and waiting for you. So I appreciate anybody that's supporting the channel. So thanks so much, and I will see you in the next video.